Hey, welcome to another evening at Wisdom River Lodge. I'm Laura Silver, and we're here to talk about all kinds of different things, psychic stuff, Reiki, healing, anything that you really want to talk about. This is a live call-in show, but it's only half an hour. The call-in number for the studio is 664-4408. So give us a call and let's talk. It's been about a month since we've been on the air. Laura's been down in Texas doing some work. Wisdom River Lodge seems to be moving around the country these days. And since I saw you last, I've taught some Reiki classes and done some psychic work down in the Texas area. But I'm back up north now, and I'm going to be here for another few days. This Friday, October 9th. It's October 9th, this Friday, right? Is the Spirit Circle over at the Houghton Mansion, and that's a lot of fun. It starts at 7. The doors close promptly at 7. You'll get a little bit of history about the mansion and the Houghton family and the tragedy that they experienced and why they're still hanging about there a little bit. And then we go right into a Spirit Circle, which is a lot of fun, and we build up the energy and hopefully we'll get some spirit communication going. So it's 7 to about 9:30, and you know, younger people are welcome as well. The only thing is whoever comes has to be able to sit quietly in the dark for about 2 hours. So, and we've had some young folks show up. I think the youngest person we had come in was about 10, and they really had a good time and got a lot of spirit messages. Actually, having young kids in the circle really can raise the energy so that we can do some really good work there. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I have to find a babysitter, not necessarily. If your child can sit quietly for a couple of hours in the dark, come on along. And again, the doors close promptly at 7 o'clock, and it's a lot of fun. When we have been there before, we've gotten quite a bit of information, new information about the mansion. And we also have had some raps and some knocks and things, which are a lot of fun. Now, the other thing about that, though, is people are like, oh, gosh, I'm scared. I don't want to go. But, you know, I only work in white light. I only work in good light. And Spirit isn't going to be able to do anything to you in that circle. Some people think, oh, well, when I go, I'm going to take all this with me, and that's not the case. I work very hard to keep everything right where it is, right where it belongs. And Spirit belongs in the spirit world, and we belong in this world, and I make sure that we don't have any crossing over during that time. So come on out, and it's a lot of fun, and we have a good time with that. One of the things people don't know about the circle is we do a lot of singing to raise our vibration, and that kind of catches people unaware at first. But that's fun too, and you'll learn some new songs. Because I have a bit of a Native American background to me, I use a lot of Native songs. So you'll learn some new songs, and we can get the energy going and get some spirit communication going. So. Now, last time we were talking about paranormal activity in houses and things. For lack of a better term, some people call it hauntings, but that's kind of pejorative, and it has some negative connotations to it that really I'm not happy with, but you'll hear me use the word haunting as a shorthand way of talking to people as well. And as we're in the month of October, and we're approaching the end of the month, which is Halloween, and there's a theory that around this time of the year, the veil between us and the spirit world thins, and it's much easier to have contact and communication. Well, reality is that if energy is neither created nor destroyed, and we're all energy, then spirit is around us all the time anyway. And it's a matter of being able to tap into the vibration and the level of vibration that spirit has that helps us to communicate. Now, spirit's around us, and they see us, and they know what we're doing, and they can come and check in with us all the time. But there's spirit, and we're spirit too, but we also have this human body that lowers our vibration and makes it harder for us to communicate directly spirit to spirit. So we're not as aware of them, but they're here and moving around with us all the time. We're just not aware of it because we have this human form that kind of drags our energy down and doesn't let us readily see what's going on with them like they see what's going on with us. And that has some implications. I get a lot of interesting questions about, well, can spirits see me do certain things? Like, do they see me in the bathroom? And, well, they can, but, you know, most spirit, they're not paying attention to that. They're not paying attention to your physical form. They're paying attention to your spiritual form. So if they were to show up while you were in the bathroom, they most likely would totally be ignoring whatever physically you were doing, and they'd want to be talking with you otherwise. So spirit is around us. We just don't have the constant ability to raise our vibration and be able to communicate with them as well as they can see us and try to communicate with us. So anyway, the Houghton Mansion is very active paranormally, and it's really kind of an interesting place to be, and a lot of history that moves around through there, because the mansion itself was a church before it became the mansion, and the church itself has some history and some tragic history. So there's kind of a layering of history over there, and there's a lot of activity in this area, and in between here and Heath and Charlemont and Shelburne Falls anyway. And Shelburne Falls, I don't know if you know, is the exact center of the North Atlantic tectonic plate. So that gives it an energy that no other place has, and that energy kind of radiates around. And I've been talking with some spirits in the area who've telling me that this radiating effect is what is coming down into this area, and why there's so much activity here as well. So there is a lot of activity in the area, and last time we were on the air, we talked to a woman who was having some activity in her house, and I was kind of hoping she'd contact me at least on the website and invite me over so I could get a sense of what was going on at her place. But there are other places in this area that also have a lot of activity going on. And you know, if you've got activity going on at your house and you want to tell me about it, I'd love to hear about it. I love collecting stories about activities, spirit activity in people's houses and in buildings in general. So if you have a story or know of a story and you'd like to share it, give us a call. The number is 664-4408. And again, we're only here for half an hour, so get on the phone. And I know you don't want to be the first caller, but somebody just call, talk. Anyway, while we're talking about spirit activity in homes, and you know, it's kind of interesting because spirit can do some interesting things. Spirit is energy, and a lot of the appliances and things that we work with today are energy. And I was talking to somebody who recently has had their TV going on and off without them touching it, and they were quite concerned that there was a problem with this, and so I went over to her house, and come to find out, it seems that her great aunt, her grandmother's sister, is that a great aunt? Yeah, a great aunt has been trying to contact her because there was a diamond ring that had become misplaced, and the great aunt was trying to let this woman know where the diamond ring was. So she's turning on the TV and turning off the TV and turning on the TV and trying to get this woman's attention. And she got the woman's attention, but the woman wasn't able to interpret the stimulation, the stimuli that the great aunt was providing. So I went over, and we actually ended up finding the diamond ring, which was really pretty cool. So spirit can manipulate things in our homes like TVs and radios and microwave ovens, and yeah, microwave ovens. They can turn things on, and you know, if you saw the movie Ghost and you saw how the main character Sam was trying to move things. Well, spirit can move things about, and they can push the buttons on microwaves and TVs and things, and create some unusual circumstances. They can also push things off your dresser, and I was once in a bookstore and had spirit throw a book at me, and it was a book that I decided I probably should read, and for the life of me, I don't know what the book was now, but it was something on a spiritual matter, and it literally flew off the shelf as recommended reading from Spirit. So these little things can happen, and they can happen in your home. Things go missing, and you swear that you had it right here. The last time you saw it, it was right here, and it goes missing, and a few days later, it is right exactly where you thought you had it. And Spirit has some ability to move things about and to obscure things from your view until they're either done with it, or until it's time for you to have that back. So anyway, this house that I've been staying in Abilene, Texas, is rather interesting, and we're finding out more about the history in Abilene. Abilene actually is a native word that means the gathering place. And it was a place where the people who were starting to cross the plains would gather before they would go on their journey. And the cattle drives and things would go through, and it apparently was one of the main thoroughfares for Native American travel as well. So I'm out there taking pictures of the house just to show my mother, because they do everything big in Texas. It's a 5-bedroom house, and pretty huge. So I'm out there taking pictures so that I can send them to my mother and she can see where I'm staying. And we go and get the pictures developed, and lo and behold, what do we see in the windows? Spirit faces, and lots of them. And depending on which floor of the house you're on the upstairs we have a lot of cowboy-looking, pioneer-looking people, and on the bottom floor in one of the bedrooms there are a lot of Native American-looking faces. So we went. The folks I stay with and I went up into the main room that had all the spirit faces in the window, and we decided that we would try to do some spirit communication. And we couldn't really pick up on anyone specifically, but we heard quite a few knocks and raps, and I basically had said to one of the women who was afraid that they were just trying to let us know that They weren't here to hurt us. Next thing we hear, door slam, and there was no one else in the house. Everybody who's in the house was in this room with us, and the door slams down the hall. And I said, see, they're just giving us confirmation that they're not here to hurt us, and the door slams again as confirmation of letting us know that everything's cool with us and them in the house. We decided that what we needed to do was go and get pictures of all the windows of the house, and the upstairs seems to be quite active. And now we're working and researching, trying to find out what has occurred there. And we've been told that there was a significant flood in this area where this house was, and a lot of livestock apparently died. But that wouldn't account for all the people who are there as well. So we're trying to get the history and figure this out. And one of the things that you can do is if you feel that your house is being visited by spirit or inhabited by spirit, is to try to find out the history of your house. There's a house locally. I was invited to come in because the 5-year-old in the house had a playmate, and come to find out, the playmate is a boy who died in the woods near this house long time ago, before the area had been developed, and he had attached himself to this young boy as a way of communicating with the rest of us. And I'd gone into the house, and one of the first things I said was, oh, did you know that this house has burned before? And people looked at me kind of funny. They had actually researched out the house, and it had burned before. Not to the ground, it hadn't burned to the ground, had it? I don't think it had, but it had burned. And what was interesting was now there was a fireman living there at the time, or the time that I was in to visit. If you research out your house, you may find that something has happened there, or the house has some type of history, especially some of these older homes in the area. There's a rich history around here, and there seems to be quite a bit of tragic history in this area, and I don't know if that has to do with the fact that it was such an industrial area with the mills and things, and life was harder or rougher in some respects. But there seems to be a lot of history in this town, and a lot of activity that people are slowly telling me about, and it's a lot of fun to find out what had happened. It's a lot of fun to find out who was living there before you, and if your house is significantly older, to go back several generations and figure out what was going on can be a lot of fun. And I'm not a person for doing research myself, but I like doing the research on these old places. So if you're being visited, or you have some extra inhabitants in your home, you could, I would be happy to research that out for you. The library is a wonderful place to go and find out this information. Of course, the town has the records and the deeds and things that go back, and your town historian can also give you a lot of good information on how to find these places. So the homework for last time was to look around and check out your place, and then call in today and let us know what you found, and if your place is being visited. And nobody's calling, and or you can get me on the website too, wisdomriverlodge.com. I noticed that's up. And I'd be happy to answer your emails and talk with you about your place. And I love to get invitations to come on out and visit these places, because that just helps me to understand the area a whole lot better. And it sometimes it blends in with other things that I need to know. It's interesting how sometimes being in one place, I get information about another place. And one of the things that had happened is over at the Houghton Mansion, when one of the national TV ghost-busting crews had been in, they had identified a spirit that had moved from the library across the hall, and they said it was a child. And I identified I was watching their show and went, no, that's not a child, that's a woman, a very short woman. And I happened to be in the mansion several months later, and she introduced herself to me as Miriam, and she told me she was a secretary. Well, I'm thinking that she's Mr. Houghton's secretary, and trying to find the records to find out the name of his secretary or secretaries, and not having any luck with that. When out of the clear blue sky, a couple of months later, somebody walks up to me and says, "Oh, I hear you met a relative of mine at the mansion," and tells me that this Miriam was related to him, and that she was the secretary for the Eastern Star over there. So that kind of gave me confirmation out of the blue. So when I'm at one place, sometimes I get confirmation from other things and get information from other things. So it's a lot of fun for me to go around and do these things, and I love to talk with people about this stuff. And I can also, if you're uncomfortable with having the spirit there, I can also help you figure out how to help the spirit move along. Now, the spirit that we have around, like in the mansion, it's called earthbound spirit, and people are earthbound. They stay earthbound for a variety of reasons. I think we've talked about this before. Sometimes when their lives end tragically or suddenly, they don't realize that they can move into the light and move into the next realm of being. So they hang about here on the earth. Other times people have business that they need to finish. They may be, wow, train. Wow, big train. They may have business that they need to finish, and so they stay about until they do that. Sometimes people are just afraid to move into the next realm. They're not sure what they're going to encounter, or they're afraid that they're going to be judged, and their earth beliefs may have been such that if they feel that they're going to be judged, they may feel that they're not going to have an opportunity for redemption. And that's one thing that one teaching that I really appreciate through the Spiritualist Church is that the door to reformation is never closed to any of us. We can always learn and grow and move forward in our lives. And again, you've probably heard me talk about good and evil, and how I believe that hell is a construct of man to keep us all in line. But some spirit is afraid that there is a hell, and they are afraid that if they're judged, they're going to be condemned to hell. And to me, that's a very, very sad thing. To think that we can be here in such a beautiful world and be stewards of such amazing creativity and such amazing life, to think that we would be punished in such a way is a very sad thing for me to think about. And when I get a lot of confirmation from Spirit about this whole thing, that it's very different than what you think. But some people who are earthbound, or some spirits who are earthbound, still believe that they're going to have some type of terribly negative consequence because of their earth behavior, so they're not willing to move in through the light. So they're telling me that we're already this half hour flies by for me. I don't know about for you, but it flies by for me. What we're hoping to do here, I think I'm going to give you no homework this week. And you don't know how lucky you are for that to happen, because I almost always give homework in my classes and everything. So check out my website. Come on out to the Spirit Circle, and don't be afraid. It's really an interesting thing, and you're going to end up with something that you really need from that. And I think most of us need to have some type of confirmation that life doesn't stop just because our bodies stop, that there is something more, and there is reason for hope. There is reason to live our lives in a meaningful way here, because there is meaning that continues. I have a brother who believes that when we cross over, the last thing we hear is some voice laughing at us going, "Sucker," and then there's nothing. And that's not the case at all. There is a very rich realm beyond this one, and there's no better way to find out about it than come and talk directly with the people who inhabit that realm. So no homework, but come on out to the Houghton Mansion Friday night, October 9th, 6th, 9th? 9th, October 9th. Wow, I need a calendar right in front of me here. October 9th, 7 to 9:30, and it's a lot of fun. And then we're going to be, I'm pretty sure we're going to be on the air in a couple of weeks. Again, I've been having to travel to Texas, and I'm going to be going back, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be back up here in time to do the other show. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back, and you can still catch me around town. I haven't, I carry my pendulum around to give away, and one guy did stop me. One guy did stop me in Walmart a few weeks ago, and he actually had been in a private spirit circle that I had done in someone's home, and he said to me, "Everything you said to me came true, and I saw you on TV." So he ended up with a pendulum, and I'm hoping he's having a lot of fun with that. So you catch me around town, and contact me on the website. It's up, wisdomriverlodge.com, or give me a call and tell me about your place. Invite me to come on over, and I'd be happy to help you find out who's inhabiting it and why they're there. And if you want them to go, I'll be happy to help you with that. Just in the meantime, I'm sorry, there's a puppy on the set, and I'm watching her wag her tail, and she's just as cute as she can be. So it's kind of distracting, but in the meantime, I hope you have a great couple of weeks, and that you have some spiritual joy and happiness, and we are going to keep the light on at the lodge for you, so give me a call or talk to me. Good night.